Hello. Um, for those of you who don't know, I'm Christ's mother, and I'm here to tell you that he is returning. How soon? I don't know, but he will be returning. And as far as everything that you've ever heard regarding the end time, and well, real quick, I just want to clear something up. The camera's up here, and the screen's literally right here, so it's an inconvenience to, so that's kind of why it looks this way. It's pointing down on me, but even though I'm looking directly at the screen. But I'm here to tell you that he will be returning. I cannot say when, I do not know when, but he will be returning. And I just want to put a couple of things to rest. Some of the myths, some of the predictions, some of the rumors surrounding end times. Myself, I'm a clergy, I'm very gifted. I have many, many spiritual gifts, as you would expect Christ's mother to. And I also have the strand of DNA that he must return through, the only indigenous strand of DNA that he can return through. My family has it. End time. What we're going to be doing is undergoing a process to become more humane. We're going to be undergoing a process to become more humane, because the state of this nation, the state of this world in general, is very inhumane in its current time. And it's because of government. Government is the spirit of Satan manifesting through men and women, known as devils and reptiles. That's all it is. I'm going to go through, in one of my other videos, like my recent videos not too long ago, I talked about all the many topics that I wanted to touch on, and I have them here with me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to refrain from touching on them in detail. I'm going to do something a little bit different than what I planned. It's good that I be, it's necessary that I be predictable with all of my delivery, because as you can see, we have quite a problem here. I'm being isolated in the city that I'm from. This is the longest I've had to sit still anywhere in my entire life. I travel. I know people everywhere, and friends, family, money, and a place to stay is something that I should never run out of. And speaking with that, I'll start with that. That's something that I should never run out of. This is a list, and I've been pretty much every job title that there is. But this is a list of all the people that I know I haven't completed the form, because I have other small details I want to add. But this is a list of people and organizations that I've worked with, companies, organizations, industries, whatever. And it's 6 pages long. People that I have relationships with. And for every company, organization, or industry, there's at least anywhere between 20 to 40 relationships that I have. Not necessarily, how do you say, not acquaintances, but close relationships. People that know me, I know them. That type of stuff. So anyhow, let me keep this in order. So yeah, tons and tons of people. This adds up to about 17, 18. No, it adds up to way more than that. There's only 14 states I don't know people in. And that could have changed according to, people move and do things of that nature, especially when they're being attacked. When the government decides to become people, the first things that they do is they create distance. And sometimes the distance that they create is in the form of relocation. Sometimes it's taking place right at home. Your family members might just stop coming around. And that's something you need to pay attention to. This story, this problem, this matter with how they've been attacking me has been being ignored for a year and a half now. So with that being said, oh, this is going to be such a good video. I'm so excited for you. It's going to answer so many questions. So yeah, a year and a half now. So something I want you to pay attention to is I want you to go back at least 2.5, 3 years and look at everything that changed with your relationship matters, because these are the people that had a demonic foresight. They knew that this information was going to be coming out. They knew that I was going to be moving against the government. So they would have been advised to, you know, trying to mend relationships and start getting together more and start showing up more and start acting like they cared more. So yeah, that's why I say it could be taking place right at home, or it can be taking place in the form of relocation. So that's first thing first. Tons of people. I'm talking about, I know a lot of folks. I know a whole lot of folks. And all my relationships were in good standing until the government started showing up and attacking me through them. And I'm going to go into a couple of those situations. In detail. Now, recently, got a new ID today, and this is the paper form of it. It's where they're mailing them out now, and according to the female at the bureau that I spoke with, it's taking place because it's already been mandated by the federal government in other states. So it's just kind of moving across, coming to a city near you, from what I hear. That's my problem with the government. They're supposed to be ran by the people. But naturally, an evil entity like that, since you're supposed to be ran by the people, it'd be of your interest to control the people. And that's exactly what they're doing. So I guess I'll go into that. And how they're doing that is RFID chip implant. Those are being implanted at birth. Now, if you're an American citizen, you have the chip. I've had a lot of conversations about this. And every once in a while, I'll come across, they're doing something to the computer. I'm just making sure I'm still recording. And every once in a while, I'll come across 9%. Weird number, right? But I'll come across 9%, which isn't bad, that I'll have to actually like really go into great detail with. And in case you're one of that 9%, I'm going to do the same in this video, because I wish I had a whiteboard, because I like to, you never know how people learn. You never know how your mind is being attacked. You never know how they're allowing your mind to work. I wish I had a whiteboard. I got some white paper right on the back of this paper and make a little diagram. Now, you're going to have to bear with me. This is going to be a really long video. And considering the fact that I'm going to be drawing a few things out, that's going to make it a little bit longer. So just be patient with me during the idle moments. I'm going to skip around so bad, but that's just not a good idea. It's imperative that you understand and follow me. me want to wipe it. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So, for those of you, you know what? There's a ton of people, there's a ton of information out there, and there's tons of it. These people love to talk about themselves. They've lived many, 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 many lives. Now, if you're looking for the runaround, I'll leave that up to other people that have read these books that only confuse them even more. But if you stick to the basics, there's no confusion. You just can't get things confused. So we know that we have our creator. We know that we have our creator. That's weird. And we know that we have Satan. People. Okay. These are both spirits. They both manifest as spirits. Over here, this is higher heavens, higher kingdoms. Over here, this is lower dimensional, spiritual field. How does it manifest through men and women? These spirits and these kingdoms or lower dimensions. It manifests through angels and fallen angels. Fallen angels are the devil. It's just the spirit of Satan may manifest through man, devil. Angel is in your DNA. It's in our DNA. It's in our DNA. And before I go into the chip, since I'm talking about DNA, there's no better way to tell people that what they've been told is a lie than to tell them the truth. So I'm just going to jump into things the same way I would if I was doing street ministry. And that's to tell you that indigenous people are original people. Original people are colored people. Angels, I have met DNA, mitochondria, and through my strand of DNA, other races were created. So, okay, man came down, or man was here. However, I'm not getting into that part of the story. But we have man. Oh no, I want to go into that part of the story because I want to show you how the mockery of I'm going to show you mockery. I had an article that I wanted to show you real quick how they mock great men and women. So the mind is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. It's a great, great, great thing. Like we're so much smarter than elite men and women of science allow us to be, and that's nothing but people that work in government agencies. And they had a whole lot of time to experiment before all of us came about. And one of their grand experiments was, oh, this is interesting. You can find that on my Facebook page. But one of their grand experiments was creating new races. Now, something that I always have to address is who the devil is. Because a lot of people want to say, why I'm fighting. First of all, I'm a civil rights leader as well as a clergy. Like I'm clergy first and a civil rights leader because I'm fighting for all people, all of mankind. Because people have heart and mind matrices. And as long as they're not tampered with, it can be good. But a lot of people that I run into or that I run across, they go, the devil, yeah, the white man is the devil, the white man is the devil, this and that. Well, if the white man was created by a black man, who's truly the devil? And what better way to attack those that you weren't accepted by? So these are evil men and women that couldn't be accepted by angels. Fallen angels that were not accepted by angels. What better way to discriminate and mock them than creating a new identity for yourself and attacking them through that? So, like I said, they had a whole lot of time to experiment before everyone else came along, before we, all came to be. Where's this picture? It's just a picture. I was going through this book looking for pictures that I could, elaborate on. Pictures that might resonate with this situation. So yeah, it's been black on black crime from the beginning, and that's another reason why black on black, black or colored, melanin, whichever you prefer, relationships and households are so targeted in terms of making sure they're not stable. And in all cases, it starts with the woman. And I know modern day teachings has said something else. They want the man to be head of the household, but that's ego. That's nothing but the spirit of man, or spirit of Satan manifesting through man. Oh, come on. And I hope I have enough time, because like I said, this can be long. No, where's my picture? I hope they didn't steal this picture. I don't have a hard time finding anything, and as you can see, I have like little pink tabs for the stuff that I wanted to touch on, and it's not in any of those. Yeah, so they telekinesis this book at some point in time and took the picture out. I'm not surprised. Okay, so evil men experimenting, science. We're going to keep things basic with matters of the spirit. Good spirits, bad spirits. Good men and women, evil men and women. Or, yeah, good-hearted people. Not as good-hearted people. Okay. I was saying the government. So they create this race, or they create these races of people, and now they have an identity. And when that happens, what always takes place is a population explosion, because they get out of hand. They completely get out of hand with having kids. They're reckless. They're very reckless about it, and they only for the sake of image do they mold these households in a certain way, in a certain light, because it's all about image. They have this ideal image that they try to keep, and a lot of it, you'll find a lot of those relationships are founded on narcissism. These are very ill-mannered, controlling men. And but anyhow, population explosion. The same thing is taking place right now, but the targeted group of people are different. It's no longer Caucasians. It's back to African Americans. That stock has risen over the years, especially knowing stories like this are going to come out. So they found it beneficial to get into those families and into those households and plant a lot of seeds. They also thought it was beneficial to create another race, which are mixed children, and explode the population with that way. I'm going to get into all this DNA stuff. It's going to be really good. Okay, so RFID chip implant. Being inserted at birth. You cannot have a birth certificate without the chip. You cannot have a birth certificate. without the chip. There's no such thing as one without the other. There is no such thing as one without the other. If you have a birth certificate, you have a chip. Now, if you when does the chipping take place? Not when. I'll get back to that. Who's doing the chipping is what you need to be more concerned by. Covert nurses. Covert nurses. That's a term you need to get really, really familiar with and just keep it in the back of your mind. Especially for those of you that are prone to visiting the hospital every once in a while. Covert nurses. Those are the ones that are chipping your baby. And the chipping is done as soon as you give birth. When the baby parts from its mother, that's when the chipping is done. And the mothers never know about it. The mothers never know about it. And this has been going on for many decades. And the chip itself was created back in the early, my lips are ashy. The early, or they look ashy anyhow. They're not real dry. But it's created back in the early or mid 1900s. That's one of those things that I'm having a problem accessing as a result of them attacking my mind and the information that I know. Like, normally I'll be able to rattle off dates. And that's something I'm unable to do right now, so I can just tell you a roundabout. Okay, so it's being done as soon as the baby leaves the room. And what it does is it puts your child in the matrix immediately. It's a breach. It's not a breach. It puts your child in the matrix. Because I'm going to get to what's a breach in the heart and mind matrix later on. Push your child in the matrix. What's the point of being in the matrix? Okay, birth certificates are none other than bonds. The government used them for foreign trading. Government used them for foreign trading. The government uses our birth certificates for foreign trading. 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 Oh, wow. Give me a moment. Use our birth certificate. They're attacking my mind right now, and I just have to weather this brief interruption. Using our birth certificates for foreign trading. Now, we're all familiar with technology that they have for predicting what the abducted should look like. We're all aware that they have this technology. Now, the thing that we have to understand about technology is that was around way back when, although they just introduced it to the country a couple decades ago. They're always light years ahead when it comes to technology. There's so much stuff that they can do regarding technology and the mind that they don't want the citizens to know. And you know what happens when you do? Like when you try all your little tricks and you play with all your technology on a sober individual, like myself, a revelation comes about. So I have a ton of revelations. That's why I said this video is going to be really, really good for you. Technology. Light years. So future predicting technology. Future predicting technology. Chips and implants. Things of that nature, they can be activated by many things. Some of them are activated by other devices. Some of them are activated by blood. Now, This is just my mind and my imagination, how it works. When this chip is implanted, this would be a divine disclosure. When this chip is implanted, it the blood is what activates it. And they have a very sophisticated system where all that information as far as DNA is uploaded to their system. Now, they do a lot of DNA swapping as well, and I'm going to get into that. That would be uploaded to their system. They use that chip to look into your future. Yes, which means they know who you're going to be before you know who you're going to be. They know who you're going to be before you know who you're going to be. Yeah. So knowing what you're going to do, what type of occupations you'll hold, this, that, and the other, that all that is calculated, and that's the dollar amount that they put on your bond, and they use it for foreign trading. The DNA side of it is much more complex. When you think about Africans and the slave market and bringing Africans over here, giving them the title African American and not allowing them to remain not allowing them to remain not allowing them to remain aboriginals, but giving them a new title. There was a plot behind that. They know that if they brought African Americans here, even with them having Hebrew and Indian and maybe some Arabic in their backgrounds, that they will only identify with being African American as a result of being a citizen of the state. So when these women go into the birth and they ask what to put on these birth certificates, these women are saying African American. They're not telling everything that they have in their background. They're not referencing any of their heritage. And these are things that are in your DNA. It's a part of you. But like I said, it's sophisticated. Their system, they already know everything. They get the read. They know you have this. They know. So they're looking at this list of things. Wow, she has this, she has this, she has that. But they only identify it as African American, so we only have to give her this much, this small bracket of her DNA. And we have all of this to place elsewhere. Do you get what I'm saying? So because they're not claiming they're Indian, they're Hebrew, they're Arabic, they're whatever, those are now strands, those are now cells of DNA that we can take and place and mutate elsewhere. Now this chip is a human augmentation tool. It's a human augmentation tool. The things that these people can do with that chip would have been scary. I'm going to deliver it in a way that it just makes sense. I'm going to deliver this in a way that it just makes sense. So, human augmentation tool. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm not skipping around. Let me just take a quick look at the topics because I have a list of different topics I was going to talk about, and I was actually going to write it out and do stuff like that, but I'm just going to wing it. See how I do. Okay, put you in the matrix. Verse 2. DNA. RFID chip, implant hospital. The chip is natural, of course. It's best referred to or most known. Neither one of those sound right, but it's the mark of the beast. So it's just the devil's way of placing their claim on you. It's just elite men and women of science, government agents, government agencies placing their claim on you. And for an individual like me, you have no business trying to claim me. You have no business trying to claim me or anyone in my line. Nothing that falls behind me, nothing that I came from. But that's also why they've been killing my people off. And it's a really big problem. I'm going to get into that too. Okay, I touched on coverts. Okay. Because that's a lot too. All right. Chip, mark of the beast, the devil's way of placing claim on us. The worst, it puts us in the matrix. It's a human augmentation tool, but it also gives the government access to your energetic field. A lot of people, I'm a sovereign, not legally sovereign yet, but I'm a sovereign individual when it comes to terms of religion. You know, I don't have a religion preference. I keep it basic. It's all about matters of the spirit with me. I look at people for who they are, not for what religion you're associated with. And I also feel that religion also divides people. If religion is keeping you from making a connection with another individual, that's a problem. And these are people that claim they love Christ. These are people that claim they love Christ with all types of bias. You get what I'm saying? So I'm sovereign in that way. The chip. Oh, energetic field. Sovereign. Okay, so a lot of people, chip in Bible. Okay. A lot of people recognize that we have flesh. So they recognize that we have this. You know, we got this. But they don't acknowledge the part of us that they can't see. Our energetic body. Our energetic body. And you can't have one without the other. The two go together. There's no one without the other. They go together. Now, the energetic part of our this is ridiculous. Can't have one without the other. Now, the reason that, I guess I'm getting into the Bible. Now, the Bible was written by most of it was written by scientific scholars. And as you go through my story and you see the type of things that have been done to me, and you reference crisis, fight, you'll come to realize how much of the Bible, how much of that story was manipulated by scientific scholars. Because think about it, DNA is none other than the original Eve gene. Mitochondria dates back roughly over 200,000 years. That's why I said they had a whole lot of time to experiment. Now, if I'm Eve and I have Adam, and through me, Christ returns, already that conflicts with everything that's taking place in Genesis. Everything from the imaging, you know, like just they've given you this this Caucasian image of angels and Christ, and none of that is the correct identity. None of that is the correct identity. That could never be. Now, Like I told you, I'm gifted. I'm a magnetic healer. I'm a magnetic healer. I can lay hands and heal. Which is why the pineal gland and the function of the pineal gland is a really, really, really big deal. I'm trying not to get off the subject. Okay, Bible. Contradictory. I always tell people when you read it for both truth and flaw. Back to the mark of the beast and the energetic field. The energetic field. There's no one without the other. With that chip, they're able, like I told you, it's sophisticated technology. So all the stuff that you're seeing on TV, this is stuff that they already have. This is stuff that they have been had. But by having access to our energetic fields, that's how they're able to lay disease and ailments. So something like AIDS, a disease which they created in a lab. Something like cancer, a disease that they created in a lab. Something like what's it called? Sickle cell. Those type of, all these diseases and ailments that they've created in labs, they're able to apply those directly to energetic fields. So our fields naturally are not meant to be penetrated. They're able to open you up in ways you should not be open. And most of the time, when it's an indigenous human being, IV is used to assist. We don't get sick. We do not get sick. We rarely have a common cold. Which is why when they attack us in the form of traumas. So they try and they try and they try again. They start with us at a very early age. I'm 34. I'm 34. And I'm a vet. I've done 3 tours in Iraq. Amongst all my other job descriptions, I'm very well rounded in that way. But so they're attacking us at a really young age. They're attacking me again. Hold on. Lord have mercy. In the form of a trauma. IBSS. The sophisticated system. Technology. Okay, in terms of technology. So for all this, they have systems that know what, okay, yeah, this stuff is created in a lab. Systems. And these are all like government agencies. This is the entity of our government that runs the government. They're telling our government, our president, what to do. You get what I'm saying? Like, these are the folks that are really running the show, agencies. So, they just removed that thought right. I'm going to get into it. They always start sabotaging my videos. When I say certain things. Oh, Jesus Christ. Lord. Systems on top of systems on top of systems. Private citizens. These are private citizens that break all the laws. Private citizens that break all the laws. And these diseases and ailments that they're creating are being passed on by government agencies themselves. In most cases, they can apply it right to your field. That chip, computerized, that's why I keep saying systems. Oh, I hope I'm not confusing you. No, I'm sure I'm not. This is easy to follow. Systems. Okay, so you have computer system over here that reads, try and get this in a picture with me, that reads, this is just DNA. Excuse me. System over here that reads, has a read of DNA. So this system, this computer screen has DNA. These are elite men and women of science too, by the way. Not just the stuff that they might take a picture of and put it out there like they look busy, like they're doing a lot of work. And then on this screen, it might have a image of your mind. This might be an image of your mind or your complete makeup. And then on the screen, beside that, we have all this stuff we've created in the lab. And we're like, okay, well, we're going to take this, we're going to apply it right here. You get what I'm saying? And she knows, let's check this part of the mind. Pineal gland, back to the pineal gland. Or maybe I should go into that individually. Our minds are the target. I'll go into that individually after this. Okay, so let's see what's there in terms of memory, somatic memory, for example. Like, we just want to see what you've learned over the years. Like, what type of experiences have you gained? So this is all she knows. Oh yeah, that's cool, that's sweet. I can, you know what, I can use that. And they're all collectively looking at this stuff, like what you have available. And you know what, she's not using it anymore, so I'm just going to take it. And I'm going to transfer this to my mind. Information upload. You get what I'm saying? So, and then this list of diseases up here. Okay. Well, generational curses. These are the people that are cursing you. I don't care if it's they refer to themselves as aliens, three-brain scientists, witches, occults. It's the government. These are government agents that are doing this stuff, that have all these occult type practice. So you're looking like, okay, so her family, let's see, her grandmother had this, her grandfather had that. We gave her great grandmother this, but we didn't give it to her to her grandmother. And it looks like it runs. Who put it on her dad's side? No, let me stop playing. But that's really the type of stuff, the type of dialogue these people are having. And it doesn't apply to me though. We do not have a sickly family. So, Satan's anointing. Oh, Cancer. Okay. Cancer, we're going to apply this to the mind. Keep in mind that this image of your mind is just a clone on the mind. And what the chip does is it links the neural sensations. So whatever they apply over here, it creates light matter there. So what's being done remotely? What's taking place remotely is manifesting because there's nothing to intervene. This is like a way of overriding your body's normal condition. That chip is a problem. We have to get rid of those chips. It's a problem. It's the only way you can ever truly be free. So, okay, disease and ailment. That's how they are applying it to to our energetic fields. Okay. Trying to make sure I do this in some sort of order. Aliens, reptiles, Yakub, Masons, whatever. Shapeshifting. Okay. Now, I've debunked the entire mental health care umbrella. Everything that falls under it, I've debunked it. And now I know why they didn't want me in the field of psychology, because I would have never ignored anyone's claims. There's nothing a person could have ever came in and told me and I not taken seriously. And we're living in a time where it's of their best interest to medicate and keep people from talking. So, shape-shifting. These are the tricks that they're playing on the mind. And it's only able to be carried out because you're in the matrix. You get what I'm saying? So there's times where they can orchestrate a conversation. I didn't even know what schizophrenia was. I said this on one of my other videos. And when I looked into it, I was like, these people are not just hearing things, but they're like, it's unexplainable stuff, like they're hearing like people talk about them like right downstairs and stuff like that. And then I'm talking to these women that I meet out and about, and they're telling me like stories, like yeah, my mom and dad was doing this. They think their parents were conspiring against them. It's the government. Like, no one has ever added in the spiritual aspect of it, and that's why scientists keep religion and science separate, because they have a vested interest in the spirit over here. As long as they have a vested interest, as long as they have control of this matter, they control everything. So they're like, okay, yeah, you go and you take religion, and you can create how many of them you want to. Just go and do it, but we're going to keep this for ourselves. So
it's 6 o'clock.
So, shape-shifting. Orchestrated conversations is one thing. They make things seem like they're taking place that's not taking place. And sometimes they're playing things that's to come. So say for an example, these people look into my future all the time because I'm unpredictable. So when I go to sleep at night, I don't dream because my dreams are being intercepted. They're trying to get insight on the divine part of things. And they also try to bully me into accessing the lower dimensions, the space that I created in the lower dimensions for those that were attacked as a result of knowing me, and the higher kingdoms. I haven't accessed any of that since, I don't know, December 2017, January 2018. Nope, December. It was before I went to the homeless shelter. So, those are the things that they want to capture. It is imperative to them to capture these divine moments so that they can manipulate them. You get what I'm saying? And they can't create anything like it. They can't create anything like it, nor have. And it's rare that they come across someone that can access both lower dimensions and higher kingdoms. So, I was saying they were trying to bully me into accessing it, but before that I was saying, oh, Christ. Not dreaming because they're looking into my, okay, yeah, so check this out. If you're not dreaming, it's because your dreams are being intercepted. We're supposed to dream. When we rest, I have so much to say. When we rest, our rest is supposed to be peaceful. There isn't supposed to be any tossing and turning or getting up in the middle of the night. That's all a result. It's all interference. It's the government interfering. So they're looking into let's see something. Look at how they're marking my face up. Okay. Maybe. Okay, so rest is supposed to be peaceful. Not a lot of tossing and turning and stuff like that. And you're supposed to dream. You're supposed to have dreams. You're what else? What else? What else? What else? What was I trying to get to? Looking into my future. When they look into my future, there's a couple of things that they're looking for. One, who I'm coming across, because if need be, they'll become them overnight. And two, where I'm going to be, because they want to make sure that wherever I am, they can inconvenience me. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. And let me tell you something. You're going to see me going pretty hard on these people verbally. Verbally, you're going to see me going hard on them because spiritual warfare isn't working as a result of my pineal gland being attacked. So whereas I would normally snap their necks or blow their heads into pieces, I'm unable to do any of those things right now. So I have to verbally, you know what I'm saying, attack them when they try me. Okay, so, Lord. Sleep. Oh, sleep. What was I talking about before that? Oh, they're pausing my thoughts. I hate when they do that. When they jam stuff, nothing flows like it's supposed to. And there's so much information they have that they have not put back. Oh, Lord. They're trying to make me stop this video. They're trying to make me stop the video. I'm just gonna... Oh, Christ. You're so trifling. Shut up. Disgusting. Trifling, nasty. No excuse for a human being. Almost told you something. You better leave me alone. Anyhow, I was talking about shapeshifting. Okay, so that's one element of it. Then another side of it is, so I touched on the staged conversations and the dreams, but another part of the staged conversation is staged occurrences. So sometimes they make it seem like things are taking place in a room that's not. Like they'll make windows crack, industrial doors, they make them move. Anything that's electronic, I have that in one of my videos. Anything that's electronic they can interfere with and operate it. So there's times where I'm sitting in a room and that's gated by an industrial door, and they'll activate the industrial door and it'll just open out of nowhere. That's the paranormal side of things that people often say is a ghost, and it's not. It's just these cool people doing, just messing with you to see what you're gonna do. There's people that go home, like they try to put me on people's radars. I'm in areas that people would never know I was, and not areas, a couple of places, like the physical therapy room. Like on the weekend when no one's there, that's where I am. I'm sitting there in that little waiting room, doing my stuff. And just taking advantage of being able to sit still for a moment because I don't have anywhere to sit still. These people will leave on Friday, know that they shut their computers off, but when they come in on Monday, they're on. There's no way I can get inside. It's all like key access. They come into a computer on and say nothing about it, and you cut your computer off Friday. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of the things that they do, they just do to see how much a person is paying attention, and they're taking note of everything. They know how aware you are and how unaware you are, what you excuse and what you won't excuse. So sounds. Sometimes they'll stage a loud sound to wake me. Sometimes they'll just push me around to wake me. There's a movie, Divergent. And I imagine it being something like that. Like just the way that they're able to. A lot of times you hear older people reference being pushed by their loved ones. It's not them. This is the government. And they're doing stuff to me at 30, young and healthy, that they were doing that they wait and do to people till they get older. You get what I'm saying? Like they're showing me all their tricks. So they push me all over the place. And there's times when people see me getting pushed and think nothing of it. I'm like, who just, you know what I'm saying? It's not even, you can't even say it's balanced. Like, it's just so unexplainable. Or seemingly unexplainable. Shapeshifting. Okay. Conversations, sleep, sounds, looking into the future, when they're messing with people. This doesn't happen often, but I know, like I said, they're showing me all their tricks. This is the type of stuff that they'll do to people that are on drugs and they can't explain it. But every once in a while, they'll use like something that's in my environment. So they're looking in, they see my environment, and they're like, well, there's a vent over there, and there's a refrigerator over there, and then there's that, let me see, that noisy light fixture over there. So what they do is they start talking through it. So it's kind of like when you talk through a fan as a kid, they're talking through these appliances. And it's distorting their voices. And you know what I'm saying? It creates a little bit of it's supposed to create an illusion. But I'm like, man, if you don't stop talking through that. Yeah. So, and then sometimes, with the fans in the area, they'll cut on and cut off. So as soon as they cut off, and those are the moments that they take. Those are opportune moments for them, because when something like that, when a noise starts in a room, everybody will jump in and just start talking and yapping, and hoping that I can't follow the conversations because it's too much going on. So I can't really zoom in on all the different conversations going on. And then it'll cut off and it's over. They all stop. They go back to being quiet and just 2 or 3, 4 people talking. The chip. One last thing. This should have been the first thing that I stated about the chip. It's a RFID chip implant. The RF stands for radio frequency. Of course, something that's radio frequency can transmit a broadcast. So that's how they're communicating with people. No one just hears voices. It's impossible to just hear voices. You get what I'm saying? No one just hears voices. It's the government doing their fucked up job. They mess with people all the time. They mess with people all the time. And unbeknownst to us, a lot of the times this is how they're communicating with like entertainers. And people refer to them as them because they don't know who it is. And they love to show up and taunt you. For someone that's being attacked in this way, when they show up and they're talking to you, they always say, who is they? Who is they? Who is they? Yeah, but who is they? I'm the right one. So, you know, that only takes place about once or twice. But they will taunt somebody over that. You know what I'm saying? Try to get to them. Because what they're trying to do is get people to realize that you don't have an ID. They want you to know that you can't ID them. And these people can be ID'd. Because let me tell you something. When you possess someone and the spirit is misplaced, that person is absent from the body. It's no different from an agent that's astral projecting, showing up in your space. They see everything that's going on. But all my people have witnessed this. When my people come back, they can identify. When I get rid of my chip, I can identify. Because right now I'm just getting silhouettes. And that's with, you know what I'm saying, like my mind being attacked. I'm still able to get silhouettes and little pieces of their identity. But my people that are misplaced, they see it all. That's why they're trying to kill them. They don't want them to return. Now, shapeshifting. Telekinesis. Man. Telekinesis. 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 I don't know if I should. I don't even know if that's shapeshifting. I don't know if that's shapeshifting. If I talk about what they do with these devices, I don't know if that really falls into the category of shape-shifting. I've always kind of kept them separate. So I'm just going to move on to telekinesis, which, if you ask me, is nothing other than magic, but it's nothing other than magic. Being able to make something remove, an item remove from the room. Sometimes they put it back, sometimes they don't. And they take really important stuff, like the most important thing they've taken from me right now to this day is my planner. It's my planner. It's my planner. It has so much in it. It had detail, like the way that planner was set up, I would write journal entries in it. And as I said before, it shows how my mind worked. It was a reflection of how my mind worked. They're obsessed with my mind. And my private part. And they're attacking me for wanting everybody to know that you're naked all the time. And not conforming. Not submitting to what they want me to do. But back to what I was saying, the planner is the most, just try to distract me and keep me from saying planner. I mean, talking about what was in this planner. I'm just gonna briefly, so combine, like anything that, stuff that I never forget, like the combination to my log, some phone numbers, detailed references, things that were taking place in detail, like in great detail. So whenever a new woman came or a woman left the shelter, these are the things I was making note of. When they were being attacked overnight, I'm taking note of the differences in them. What else? tasks, tons and tons of tasks I complete. I'm keeping up with people's appointments that I, would go to their appointments with them and stuff like that. How I'm being attacked. There was a lot of references in there about how they attack me. Like where I'm getting these shot-like sensations at, or what manifested on my, like every once in a while I get a scratch. Like today, I saw I had a scratch on my arm because they've been being real rough with the clone. They've been raping it constantly for like the last 2-3 days and allowing me to feel it, just violating me in any way they can. And then, naturally, my vibrations are high. So it's a natural occurrence every once in a while. Like the Kundalini energy will cause an orgasm. And what they'll do is they'll even play with that energy to aggravate. You get what I'm saying? So they're doing something to this video. I think they just took a piece out of the, I'm going to have to watch this whole thing over to make sure everything I said. I should have been taking note. This shit gets on my nerves. So anyhow, clones. Clones is obvious now. Everybody knows that we have clones. And that's linked to the wildfires. What other way are they going to get rid of the evidence? They have their favorites. These people, when I come, sometimes they force my minstrel to come on and then pull and suck the blood out. And other times they just wait till it comes on and suck the blood out. And you gotta think, what I'm saying, like the devil, like that the government is the devil. You gotta think about who Satan was and what his anointing was. His anointing was perversion. These people are perverted in every way. And they are definitely watching all your intimate moments. They're watching everything that you do. And they're having sex right now. Perversion. And he was a minister of music. That's how it's administered most of the time. That chip. Okay, back to the chip real quick. They administer a number of different chemical stimuli. They administer me stuff to anger me. They administer me stuff to arouse me, to try to get me to try to arouse me. They administer a sedation, and they administer music a lot of the time. And when they administer music, it's not so much for me as it is them. They're trying to get that internal dialogue, because everything's it's my interpretation of the music. You get what I'm saying? So when, oh wow, I'm gonna go into so much of this stuff. Look, I have a whole lot to say when it comes to like corrupt imagery and like corrupt neuroscience and how your music and the lyrics is being used against you. But I'm going to refrain from going into that right now, because if I talk about way too much, this video will be way too much. And I'm already at 1 hour and 10 minutes. So the chip, administering stuff. But this chip, excuse me, that's how they are killing people in an unforeseen way. They are killing people remotely with the chip. They are applying disease and ailment remotely with the chip. And let me tell you something. Recently, when my female cousin passed away, she something happened before that her son's imposter said nothing to anyone about, and it's just her and him. So now I have to go through the process of getting her medical records, which will be difficult because she has a surviving. And if need be, I'll just beat his ass and make him, because I can do that. But I'm saying it's not as simple as me walking in and being like, yeah, because that's what I did earlier today. I was like, okay, I just want to know what the process is like, you know, this, that, and the other. She was like, oh, okay. I guess my lips just look ashy, because they're not. But it shows you they can, all types of stuff they can do with these cameras. The things that they can do with these cameras, it's unreal. I've made videos before, and they've taken out like a complete chunk of what I said. I've done videos before, and they've changed like the lighting or my appearance. It's so disturbing. It's so bad. It's so bad. And it's not my lenses as much as it is this lens. You get what I'm saying? She said, that's so motherfucking true. Talk about what I'll do to your imposter. Oh man. So something happened to her, and he didn't say anything about it. And that's not how we function. That's not how we function. Which means that he had been attacked too, and I didn't know at the time. And you wouldn't know until something really bad happens. You get what I'm saying? Like when the spirit would speed out my nephew. You know what I'm saying? Like when my brother showed up with this different attitude, and not knowing who he was, and not being able to recall events. You know, my dad, my mom. It takes for something bad to happen, because most of the time they can be and exist in your family for years, and you wouldn't even know. You'd be dismissing everything that they did, just chalking it up as, oh, that's just, you know, that's how she. No, you're being attacked by the devil. That's a demonic attack, and they're preying on the fact that you don't know. And every time you disregard it, every time you pay it no mind, they take something else from you. I'm like a wealth of information, kind of. You know, and I was just watching information disappear, not being able to access certain things, and then they're taking my information, taking my DNA, and placing it elsewhere on my people. And then giving me their weight gain. And marking up my face. And chipping my tooth. You know what I'm saying? Like, they always target our mouths. This tooth, they intended for it to fall out, and it broke instead. As a result of excessive radiation and frequency, you apply enough to any area and it'll change the matter. And this was done to keep me from talking last October. And then I had an issue with the covert dentist, which is why I haven't gotten it fixed. You're not going to see me anybody. I'll be walking around just like this until this story reaches all of you. And the magnificent part about it is, like, my stem cell, I can grow another tooth. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go through, I refuse to go through any cosmetic surgery. I'm going to be growing my own. Because that's how my body and DNA is set up. These are the things they're hindering people from doing. This was never supposed to be a part of my experience. Because I don't live the lifestyle for it. But they were busy trying to make me look like something I wasn't. And for everything that they do to a person that has nothing to do with the way that they live, it's being done for a suggestion. So this tooth being missing has been used in many suggestions when it comes to these imposters, these people that show up. And nobody at the police department is moving on anything. And that's after I've told them that they possessed the detective that I was staying with. I was only there a day. I was only at his place a day. And told the police department as soon as it happened. Lord, and I'm going to go into that in more detail too. Prior to that, it was my ex-fiance. My ex-fiance. And look at it like this. The government is... It was already a problem that I wasn't having sex. And so when I got back with Nate, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's weird because he is Adam. He's just like me, kind of. You know what I'm saying? But the male version, like just a good-hearted person. Ain't gonna do no wrong to people, you know. Talented, gifted, an extremely gifted individual. And he's been trying to, you know what I'm saying? And it's weird because that part of the story is the only part of the story that I can really say was true, is that he knew right away. Because when I met him, he tried to marry me. So when we got back together this time, they knew I was going to stay with him, which is why they told me to, they were just like, you know, say that this is the only man that you're going to be with. I would never. I would never, you know what I'm saying? Because you, as a devil, you ain't going to never demand anything from me. You're not in a position to ever try to require anything of me. I don't care what you're doing. You ain't going to ever be demanding anything from me. And they want a seed. They want a seed and lots of sex so that all their people can try me. Trifling. You get what I'm saying? So, because I wouldn't comply, they took him from me. And this is the stuff that they're doing. They're showing up and taking people from a person. And they figure, oh, well, if we steal her car, she's not going to be able to get around. True. If we steal all her belongings, she's not going to have anything to wear. I've been stealing and telling people I've been stealing. And I put it on the internet. That's how you know the cops ain't looking into nothing. You get what I'm saying? And not just because, or not to sell stuff and make a profit from it, but I'm a woman and I have needs. I'm a woman. So, and they're just like, so, yeah, we steal that stuff or whatever. And then they're like, but people, you're trying to take people from me. You're taking my people from me. My people. How can you, and now she's talking about they're going to be shutting down the internet and shutting down Facebook and shutting down this. No, you're not. No, you're not. But you tried to take my people from me. Can you imagine somebody just, and not even showing up? It was like months down the road before they finally showed up, but they showed up as pretending to be somebody else that they weren't. And then this guy at the college trying to like negotiate on their behalf. One day, the next day he's like, well, maybe you should just, a completely different person. Somebody else is using the vessel. Well, maybe you should just give them what they want. So you're saying I should just give them sex and have a baby and do stuff I'd never do. That's what you're saying. Consistent too. And people don't survive this. People don't survive this, and that's not even the tip of the iceberg. People do not survive this. They are cheating people out of their lives and out of their destiny every single day. They're here to lie, cheat, steal, and destroy you in every way. A lot of those entertainers are not making the deals. They are not making deals with the devil when they attack these people in their sleep, they don't survive it. And then they're misplaced and tormented with watching everything and nobody having a way of knowing. This is the foulest form and most inhumane thing that has ever happened to mankind. That's why I said y'all gonna have to be okay with however I decide to deal with them. And all these demon seeds, these kids, look at these kids walking around. Look at these kids. And you can tell they're demon seeds because they show up with confidence and no experience. It takes experience to build confidence. But these things show up with a demonic foresight. They have a sense of their identity. And they're walking around here like you can't tell them nothing. Looking all crazy. They know they're being watched. And they're looking all wearing these crazy, you know what I'm saying, hairdo. That's another thing. Lord, I don't know where to start. Or, you know what? That really just threw me all off. That just threw everything off. And now I don't even know where. They took Nate. The first thing that happened when me and him got back together, I put it on, I had to create a new Facebook because they locked me out of my old one. I have like, I don't know, 4, maybe 5. It's on my Facebook. The one that's active. And I only have 2 friends on there. It's like my fake account. That's the only fake account I have. But it's not really a fake account. It's just like, because it has my real picture. It's just, I don't know any of the people on that list. There's like 300 people. I don't know anything but like 2. And so I'm friends with myself, Victoria Ali, and then I'm friends with my cousin that they killed this February. Shirley Tauber, I believe is the last name she's using. She's still using Tauber. So those are the only 2 friends that I have on that on this account, and it has a ton of information, a lot of legal references. You know, like I've done all the work, but they said in the beginning, they're like, no, let her do all the work. No, let her do all the work. As they attack my mind. You can tell from the flyers that I was passing out last year. I'm going to get back to Nate. You can tell from the flyers I was passing out last year that, last year that how bad they were attacking my mind and how much I wasn't able to access. Because it's like you can see them evolve. And I have like, I don't know, 7 versions. I do everything in versions. Like this is the 2nd version of this outline. Oh. What else? What's another example? I had to print out my Facebook, like some of it, not all of it. Just stuff that I couldn't afford to lose because they threatened to shut it down all the time. This is like a journal entry. And I'm going to put some of these pages up because it's just got like really, really good information in it. Stuff that you can't help but resonate with. Oh, wow. This is a sample. Like this is the 4th version of my YouTube inventory. How I edited it. And this is the 5th. And they mess with this all the time. Mess with my YouTube. But back to Nate. Okay, so yeah, I created that Facebook, and I'm like, you know, reaching out to people that I know, and I'm telling people, and it got to a point where like there's this alarming message as my profile picture, And people, I'm not one of them people that have like thousands, hundreds of friends. Like I keep a close knit circle, people that I actually know, people that really know me, that I will have a conversation with, and we interact. So there's no way I would have ever been able to send them any type of friend request and them not read something as my profile picture, or even come to my page and see something so alarming and not say nothing. And it got to a point where they were accepting my request and not even, they had already gotten these people. They had already attacked these people. So anyhow, Nate reaches out. Nate reaches out. And he's like, well, hey, you don't have to. He was like, you don't have to really do any of that other stuff like while you're fighting. He was like, you can just come stay with me or whatever, and all is well. Because I was talking about like how I need to do this and how I need to do that, and on top of fighting. And he was just like, no, none of that. And he was like, so, and one of his side gigs is like he's a not a performer, but he's a drummer on the side. So he do gigs like throughout, and they are going to know exactly who I'm talking about. Wait till I tell y'all this. So do gigs. And he's like, I have a gig coming up this Friday. He's like, you need to just just get out and just take a breather or whatever. And I'm like, what, you're right, I'll go. So I go. The first thing he did when we got together was, and I'm telling him about this stuff, is gave me his debit card. He's like, here's our money. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I gave it back like, I don't know, a day or two later. And I really didn't make any purchases. It was just like in case I needed something, you know what I'm saying? And never am I thinking that they're going to take this man from me. And I just take him from me. But do the most trifling things in his vessel. So a few things happened. There's some details I guess I could have go into in between, but it's just like intimate stuff with me and him. But once they attacked him in his sleep, he woke up not knowing who it was. The first thing he asked me when he woke up, he would call me every morning before he went to work. Because like I would go back to Akron, and this is in like a week's time. A week's time, quick fast. Soon as they saw us together, you know what I'm saying? They was like, oh no, we're getting rid of her. I mean, getting rid of him. Like, I got a plan for him. So what they were trying to do is, when they attacked me that morning when I woke up, he asked me, he said, are you cheating on me? I'm like, can't even believe he asked. Like, it made no sense. It's just like one of those things that he'd never have to ask me. You know what I'm saying? And then it just got worse. Like, it was another gig coming up. I showed up there. He didn't know who I was. The guy that was using his vessel did not know how I looked. They told him that I would approach him. And that's exactly what I ended up having to do, because he didn't know who I was. The girl taunted me. She said, I'm going to remove your memory of him, and I'm going to send all type of women his way. So for the last year and a half, that's what they've been talking about the type of women that they're having him run through, and threatening me like, well, if you don't just let him go and be with one of these men that we're putting in front of you, like, we're going to plant, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be getting women pregnant. And when your status elevates, if it elevates, like, we're going to have women come out the woodwork. This is the type of stuff our government is capable of doing to people. And it's a problem. Mom, Dad, showing up and attacking me as the people that I know, people that love me, people that I didn't have an issue with, people that were on board with this fight. My people were on board with this fight. There would have never, this is supposed to be like their way of humiliating me. They figured if they could just reduce me to nothing, to not having nothing, to not having anyone, that I do what they wanted. The fact that I'm standing downtown in front of the police office or department by myself should be a red flag to anyone. But they already know who I am. So look, check this out. This is what I'm going to do. Because now I'm a little emotional. I'm going to I got some other stuff out there already that goes into demon possession. What is and what's not the face of it. With LGBT, it's just a bit more prevalent because they can't hide. You can tell that it's a man posing as a woman and a woman posing as a man, but that is not the majority of it. They are not the majority. Sometimes sexual orientation and things of that nature just don't change. It's a man being a man, like it's manifested in my family. You know, just the nature of the spirit has changed. They don't love you. They don't care about you. Everybody will ignore everything that these people are doing and wait to see if they can kill you. And when they find out that they can't, then they'll try to surface like nothing's happened. You can't ever. You can't even almost ever try me, because that's not how I handle my relationships. And my people know this about me. Not only will they never try me, but they know that no. So there's so much stuff. As you can see, there's a lot of topics. Like, I want to talk to y'all about relationships, you know, just like how I've carried mine through, how I've maintained mine throughout the years, you know, and just how I keep them in good standing, and like some of the errors that I see in others, and not the errors that I see in others, but like some no-nos that should never be done in relationships, you know, like good relationship advice. I've always been an expert in that department. I want to talk about our hair, like black women's hair. There's no way that something created from you can grow more hair than you. Like, our hair is considered our crown, and that's why they attack it. I never had an issue until they decided they were going to be putting my, you know, it's weird. And I did have an issue, actually. I had an issue I didn't know about because my hair should actually grew much longer, much quicker. It's our crown. It's our crown. There's no reason that this should not be mine, because that's how my hair grows. You get what I'm saying? But this is a wig. And all these kids and these people and these men and these dreads, and if you think that your man can grow an entire mane and you can't, that's insane. And you need to start looking at him for who he is. Teeth. Appearance. I want to talk about appearance, like just how they attack our appearance and how they misshape women's bodies. Like, for the longest, I've always been an observer since I was a kid, just of body types. You know, like, I always wondered, like, how did this body type get this way, and how is it possible to grow fatty cells in certain areas in that way? And these people, I told you already that you'll see it in another video, they inject fat on me. When these women got something to do on the weekend, or they got a plan for them, they'll take 10 pounds off them overnight and put it right on me, because they think they just gonna, I'm always moving. It's okay, she'll burn it. No. No, you're not going to sabotage my frame like that. Family history. Homeless. Oh my goodness, I have so much I want to talk about. So much. But more than anything, I want to talk about minds, like neuroscience, corrupt neuroscience, how they've been using our minds against us, how they orchestrate things, how they attack it, and how they get the approval to kill your relative before you even know. Because it's all orchestrated. And it has to always appear that you're okay with it. It has to appear that you're okay with it. It's corrupt neuroscience. These people are using everything against you. I'm talking about internal dialogue, external dialogue, conversations that are going on around you, lyrics and music. It's bad. It's really, 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 really bad. That's it for now. Because I need some time I need to make sure I allot some time for this video to upload, because they're going to make sure to slow me down in that way, and I still need to take some pictures. Okay, so that's it for now.